What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to build, I already actually built it, the kayak trolling motor setup that I showed in my last video. I'm going to be utilizing this 32-pound thrust Minn Kota. Very simple setup. These are incredibly cheap. First thing, before we get started, if you could please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what other mods you want to see on my beautiful Pro Angler 12 Hobie. I'd love to hear about it. Also, to get started on this project, I wanted to mention why I'm building it the way I'm building it with the plug. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to control side to side, forward and back while I'm standing up and not have to use the rudder. So I want a little bit of control when I'm doing that. I see a lot of people mount them on the back of their kayak. Nothing wrong with that if that works for you. I'm not concerned about getting to and from spots. That's not why I want this. I want this to be able to fight the wind, that kind of stuff, when I'm standing up, basically, so I don't have to pedal all the time. I love the pedal drive system on this kayak, and I'm not going to not use it. I'm going to use it all the time. However, when I want to fight the wind or stand up and cast, I want something that can move me and I can control from a standing position. So that's why I'm going with this method over putting it on the back. If you like it on the back, that's completely fine. But this is why I'm doing it. So let's get into it. First off, what you're going to want to do is dry fit this. Make sure if you already have one of these or the one you're going to buy fits in your kayak. Whether you're using a Hobie, a Vibe, I don't even know. Whatever other kayak brands out there. Make sure it fits in that hole where the drive would go for your setup. If it doesn't, then it's not going to work. One thing on mine, I had to buy the standard prop. I had one of the weedless wedges and it did not fit. It was too big, so I had to go back to the standard prop. But that out of the way, first you're going to want to do, make sure it fits, and then you're going to start disassembling your trolling motor. First, you're going to need to take off this thing, and to do that, all you're going to have to do, take your screwdriver and remove the 4 screws in the bottom of there. The 6 screws, you just take them out very simply like so. Once you've removed the cover from the top, you can take out the handle, the drive. You can unhook all of the line cables. It's probably a good idea to take a picture of how they're hooked up, but there is markings on the back telling you how everything hooks up. So if you don't do that, or if you don't want to, it's not that bad. It's all right there. So you're going to have all of your drive cables, your reverse, your forward, all that kind of stuff, and which is going to be 4, and then another 2 are going to be the cables for your battery, or your battery, your power. So you got power, and then you have forward and reverse cables right here. So next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the collar bolt out, which is right here. Unscrew that. Once you have that out, you can just pull off this top bracket right here. Super easy so far. Pull the wires out. Oh, check that out. Butterfingers. Take that off. Perfect. Simple so far, huh? So now, take the collar, the adjustment collar for the height, take that off. Loosen your transom mount, pull that off, throw it away, store it in your garage, whatever. You will not need this anymore. Now, you're left with this piece. This is the important bit. So now, it's time to put it on your kayak. So now you're going to take the plug for your drive system hole or whatever you're using. I'm mainly making this about the Hobie Pro Angler, which has a nice plug that goes in there. Other kind of kayaks, I don't know. So don't bother asking me because I don't know what they have or what you can use. But you might have to figure that out on your own. This is about the Pro Angler almost specifically. It has a, here's what the plug looks like. It snaps down into the hole of the kayak right there. So what you're going to need next is you're going to need a drill with either a spade bit or some type of hole saw on there like that. Measure with a caliper your shaft to see how big it is. Mine worked perfect with a 1-inch spade bit. So now what you're going to want to do is drill a hole in the top and bottom for a through hole so you can put that system through there. And not necessary, but something I did, I punched a little hole, hopefully you can see that right there, on both sides of this, and that is to let water out and also, well, in and out. I initially did this, and water can get through the crack, but it can't get out easily, so you want a place to drain that water out. So yeah, water gets in there, but it also gets out really easily. You want to drill 2 holes so you don't form a vacuum and it just pours out really easily. So yeah, little tip there. But so now you're just going to want to, it's not super crucial how well you have these lined up. Mine, there's this kind of grid pattern on it, and I just picked a spot on both sides of it, drilled a hole. But again, not super crucial that they're 100% in line down there. It's not a big deal. So drill your hole. Now that you've drilled your hole, it's time to insert this. This is a little bit tricky getting these wires through. Basically, you can use a piece of string, a piece of rope to thread them through, fishing line, anything like that will work. But just get the wires through your holes, through your double set of holes, through your plug first. I would use a piece of rope. Now that you've pulled your wires through, just push this little guy through the hole, making sure not to catch any of your wires, like so. Push that down, and it's nice and tight. Doesn't move too bad, but you want a little bit of movement. Mostly because the reason I want to do this is because I want control over it a little bit instead of having it hooked up to the back. That's why I'm doing it this way. So now you're just good to just reassemble it. Pretty dang easy. While you're at it, you're going to want to make sure you mount it with the, you're going to want to set it up so that the handle's facing backwards, so the handle is in line with the propeller, not the opposite way, the way it comes. Just going to make it a lot easier. So next you're going to insert your collar, your depth collar. Got to go through the wires, down, lock that in. Next comes the head. Like I said, make sure you have it backwards. You just feed the wires through the hole like so. Next, put your screw back through that hole. Once that's on there nice and secure, just going to put the whole drive system back in. Make sure you have all your cords. So you have your power cord that comes up through this hole right here. Again, make sure you pay attention to how it was wired and the colors of the different wires. Wrap that around and get it all wired up correctly so that it works again. Yeah, you'll just put that on there. Like I mentioned, it is labeled on the back so you know what colors go with what. But pretty simple. Just put this all back together. Now all that's left is to just put the cap back on the top and install your 6 screws back into the holes. And you'll be all set to go. Alrighty, let's test her out, make sure she works. She runs forward and reverse. Good. And with that being said, I think we are all wrapped up. Seems like it works pretty well. Again, the reason I wanted to go with this versus a back-mounted trolling motor or anything like that is because I want to have a little bit of control, especially in the reverse aspect. I want to be able to... I've used this enough that it doesn't... you're not going to want to not use like your rudder and stuff, but I want to be able to use it. I don't care about getting to and from my spot. I can use my legs and pedal there. What I want to be able to do is stand up and move this thing. That's the real reason I wanted to go with it in this configuration up front by me, is so I can have a little bit of control over where I'm going with it versus using the rudder, basically. So that's why I wanted to do that. This is the setup. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Send us an email, anything like that. Like I said in the beginning, like, comment, subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Any other suggestions on what you want to see on this kayak, leave it down in the comments below. With that being said, I think I'm going to head out of here. Try to get on the water this weekend. Probably won't happen, but we're hoping for it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time.